Hi, I'm going to show you how to yield the maximum amount of juice out of your juicer. And this can apply to any kind of juicer that you have. But it especially will apply to this style juicer, which is a centrifugal style juicer. They are fast, high speed. They're not always known for being as good with leafy greens. So in order to get the maximum amount of juice out of it, I'm going to show you how. Okay, so I just juiced a batch of green juice. It's the mean green juice. It's very popular from the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. So I made one batch of that right here. And here's the pulp. So what you do is you go ahead, take off the top of your juicer, and you want to get a container here, and you want to have a spoon, and go ahead and pull that off. See if there's anything that you want to pull in. Actually here it's pretty clean, so I don't need to be taking stuff out of that. Sometimes though it tends to clog up, in which case you want to knock off the juice out of that. Then you take the juice from the pulp container, put it in the bowl, put it back here so that's snugly fit. Okay, go ahead and take your juice here, because we already did that. What I'm going to show you is this is going to go here, so we can measure how much more juice we're going to get by running it through again. And as you see on this juicer, there's a lot of chunks here, so I know that I'll be able to get a lot more juice out of this. And I kind of pack it in there, and then like that. And I do this while it's off, and I'll show you why here. It's easier to deal with it when it's off, and I want to pack it in here and put as much as I can in the feeding chute here. And there. Because this one, definitely there's chunks of apple, as well as the kale just hasn't been juiced enough, and everything's really wet. So put it down in there so it gets nice and packed in there. Okay, I like to push it down really good. Okay, like that. I think I'll be able to fit it all in here. Sometimes it can get a little messy, but when you're talking about how expensive produce is, you definitely want to do this, because you're going to get more juice from your fruits and vegetables. Okay, here we go. So that's all in there. Okay, then I'll get my plunger, and I'll get it in position. Then I'm going to turn it on and run it through and push it through. I'll do it on the low side. Running it through one time. Also with these juicers, if you tip it a little, get some of that extra juice out of there. So just tip that, and that'll get you your extra juice out of there. And okay, so that's the first time we're going through. I'm going to get another container, because why? I'm going to do this twice. Okay, now it's number one. So number one, we've got approximately half a cup extra juice. All right, we're going to go through the process again. Bring out the bowl. Here I'm seeing that now there's more kicked up in here. Take that and kind of push it down there, like that. Maybe a little there, okay. And then dump again. Okay. I like to use the bag here. It makes it easier for cleanup. Okay. Obviously already this is looking a lot more less big pieces, so let's do the same thing again. Alright, this is round number 2. I usually just do it twice. I have done it 3 times. Once the 3rd time comes around, it doesn't really get a whole lot of juice, so, but I definitely would do it twice. Especially if you're doing the leafy greens. That's where these type of juicers. Okay. And a bit. Okay. Then we get the plunger. Push it like that. Almost a few little pieces here. Okay. Now we do it again. Put it on the low. Let's combine the two. The first time we had a half a cup. Here we end up with about a quarter of a cup. Combine the two. And we end up with just under 1 cup. And that, if you're juicing, especially if you're on a juice fast, this adds up to a lot of juice in the course of the day. And then you add it to the batch that I already did the first time. And there you go. What varies, sometimes I end up with a full cup. This time I didn't use a whole lot of kale in the recipe, so I ended up with a little less. But I would say if you're doing leafy greens, you can definitely end up with about a cup extra juice per serving. And like I said, that will add up to quite a bit if you're juicing on a regular basis, and especially if you're on a juice fast. So no matter what kind of juicer you have, if you run the pulp through, I like to do it twice. That's up to you. Now, there is another thing that I wanted to mention, is a lot of people like this kind of juicer because it's fast. They can make the juice and then they can go. Now, if there's any time where you don't have the time to run the juice, the pulp through twice, or you just don't want to be bothered with it at the time, this is what you can do. You go ahead, I'm going to take that bit here. Okay, you take it, if you just like did your juice, but like, oh, I don't have time to do the pulp thing, go ahead and take this. Make sure you have a clean baggie. Go ahead here and get yourself a twisty tie. Go ahead and twisty tie this and put it in the refrigerator. And then you can go ahead, and if you're juicing several times throughout the day, you can do that. Take your pulp, put it in the refrigerator with a little twisty tie, and then tomorrow, the next day, you can go ahead and take all your pulp that you have from the day before and run it through. You can have yourself a whole serving of juice right there. So that's another thing you can do. You don't necessarily have to want to do your pulp, running it through every time you want to make a juice. Just throw it in the refrigerator and then save it for the next day, and you can do it all at once. Either way, I highly recommend you do this. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting a lot of your fruits and vegetables. So, there you go. Hope this helps, and you have yourself a very good day.